Welcome back to another episode of Are You Not Entertained? This right here is an extended discussion about the Xbox Direct, Jesus Christ, recap. Xbox just wrapped up its 2026 Developer Direct, and this one was about momentum, people. New gameplay, deeper dives, and clearer timelines finally gave players answers on what's actually coming next. From updates on major first-party titles to surprises that flew under the radar. This Direct wasn't about flashy promises, it was about execution. So let's break down what mattered, what impressed, what still has Xbox fans asking questions. Here's the big takeaway from the 2026 Xbox Developer Direct. This was about substance over spectacle. We got longer gameplay looks, clearer release windows, and devs actually explaining systems instead of teasing logos. That's a shift, and it matters, but it also raises the bar. You show this much, expectations lock in fast. So let me know in the comments below. Did this Direct restore your confidence in Xbox roadmap? Or are you still waiting on that one must-play game to seal the deal? Let us know in the comments down below. First up, Forza Horizon 6, coming out May 19, 2026. The game is set in Japan, marking its first time the series heads there, inspired by Japanese culture and car scenes. Features a massive open world, the largest map in Forza Horizon history, with Tokyo City alone reportedly 5 times larger than the previous Horizon cities in a huge variety of landscapes. 550 cars confirmed at launch, with vehicles like the 2025 GR GT prototype and 25 Toyota Land Cruiser. First gameplay showed dynamic events, track types, and exploration across urban and rural Japan. Players begin as a tourist who must qualify for the Horizon Festival before raising through ranks, adding in a progression twist compared to prior entries. The new estate system allows players to fully customize large plots of land, a blend of creativity and gameplay progression similar to other open world titles. Car meets returns and are extended with social features inspired by Japanese car culture. Other shared experiences include drag meets and Horizon Time attack circuits. Exploration and culture. The world encompasses varied driving experience, neon city lights, winding mountain passes, rural landscapes, and more, each capturing different facets of Japanese terrain and heritage. Culture integration extends into environments, events, customization, and environmental design. With all that said, Infamous, tell us, what did you think about this Forza Horizon 6 announcement being the first one out the bat?
Well, I'm gonna come out and just be blunt and honest. I just thought it was another Forza game. It was to me. I did not think it was anything special. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that they said, "Oh, it's a new Horizon game in Japan," it looked like Horizon 5 to me. They showed off some driving, they showed off some graphics. It looked nice, but it was just another Forza Horizon game. It's another piece of the cookie cutter that's getting propped out, handed to us, and it looks shiny. Now the cars at GTR, GT, whatever thing, that looks nice. Never seen it, never heard of it. I was a little impressed with a little more social aspect of it. Things like the car meets that they showed off. I was like, okay, because you do have hardcore racing / car fans. And I know the racing video game segment does not appeal to those demographic. And so GTA Online has kind of picked the slack up for a lot of that. I know in the early days and even now, the hardcore role playing people will do car meets, drag races, little stuff like that. So it seems like Xbox is like, hey, we're gonna hone more into these type of things, and in doing so, making sure, hey, this is for the car purists. Now, like I said, I'm not trying to hate on it. It just looks like a by the numbers Horizon game. But I played Horizon 5. I enjoyed it. You play, you do a few races, the festival aspect, the attitude of, hey, play as you want, do as much as you want, and move along. Hey, that's great. I wasn't also impressed by the number of cars. I believe they said 550. Yeah, that's the base game. That's what it ships with. So you can only expect and go higher up from there. Last I checked, I think each Horizon game gets like 2 expansions, more of a by the numbers esque one, an island or something, adds more vehicles, and then more of a kind of an arcade-ish one. I think 5 had the Hot Wheels, and 4 had the Legos. So, it's like, oh, okay, well, what would they do? But it was interesting, kind of knew this was
Mhm.
coming. They did something that I did enjoy too. Before the big Xbox acquisitions, you had 1 year of Forza Motorsport, another year of Forza Horizon. They have since kind of moved away from that. Forza Motorsport is now more of a platform, and it's been years since 5, and now you have this. So they're more attention to detail,
Mhm.
more focus. I mean, it wasn't bad, I'm not trying to shit on it for any of the car enthusiasts out there. I'm just saying, hey, it was just another car game. Same thing I would say for another Gran Turismo. You play one of these, you've played majority all of them. They can just add on just more refined sculpt. But I look forward to it because they do have a in them by some way. I think it's like you and your partner can do the festivals together. Kind of what's that movie franchise we don't like?
Fast and
Family.
Furious.
There we go. Yeah, 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 yeah. More of a competition of like, oh, you scored this to hit these checkpoints, and
That
next
was
person hit that.
definitely a
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, yeah. No little friendly competition. I think that's how they do their co-op. There was no word whether I guess they'll do that with this one, but I'll assume so because Horizon is the more social, arcadey, have fun version on Forza, whereas Motorsport is the more simulation, tires and gears and tune-ups aspect. And then it comes out in May. That right there was the true thing that got me. It had a firm
The release date.
release date.
Yeah.
There was no, we'll let you know as the year goes on, or, a broad summer release date, kind of step parenting you. You don't know whether they're coming or going in a sense. So I was like, oh, okay. And then May is not too far from now. That's what, 5 months? I also want to let it be known. Remember this. Infamous talked about this. March or May. Those are the months that people were comfortable with putting their games out before GTA moved to the end of the year. So I'm sure this is another result of that. But I look forward to it. We can try it out. Now, this is my last bit. We know it's coming to PS5. We just don't know when. Horizon, for whatever reason, seems to be a franchise Xbox wants to keep to the chest. It comes out on Xbox and the PCs at launch, and PlayStation gets it later on. My guess is it will be another 6 months or to a year speculation. But I'm just curious why they choose to do it with this and not the Halos and everything else. But I like that card, but it's a racing game.
I think this is not coming to PlayStation all because PlayStation didn't pay Xbox for allowing them to have it on day one. I think PlayStation has been very selective about the games they take from Xbox from day one. And no one's going to tell me otherwise. They pay a fee for that. And I'm pretty sure it's a big fee. But so PlayStation was probably like, Horizon, yeah, we can get it when we get it. We don't need to rush that. So we're not going to pay that extra money. That's how I picture that meeting going. Yeah, I got to say, I'm going to be honest. I haven't really been into a racing game since Need for Speed Wanted. And yeah, I couldn't tell you if this stuff that they showed off is good or better or good for the series or better for the series or if this is a return to play. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't know nothing about Horizon. Forza Horizon. Like I get this one mixed up with the other game racing game Microsoft got. But it looks good. I will say that. It looks good. It looks pretty. I thought they pretty much went into this game enough at the Japan showcase. So when this was one of, they only announced 4 games in this developer direct. I was just like, we needed a whole 20 minutes on this game, but hey, whatever. I'm sure hey, they making these games for somebody, so maybe this was a big deal for some people. I'm just not into racing games, especially if I have to do it on a controller. If I'm gonna do a racing game, I need a whole nerd set out. I need the steering wheel, I need the brake, I need the shifter,
Are
I'm
you
gonna
one
have
of
to
those people?
I want to be one of those people. I don't want to play a racing game on the controller. Like, if I'm gonna be in it, I'm gonna be in it. And I've seen a lot of people with the setup. I just like, damn, if I play a racing game, that's the only way to do it. But shout out to Horizon 6. They came, they saw, they conquered, and they was the first out of the bat. So let us know how you feel. Is this Horizon 6 a correction in the franchise? Is this what you want it to be? They're really leaning into the Japan car culture and stuff. And I haven't even since that one Fast and the Furious Tokyo, like I kind of like forget, like, yeah, Japan got a whole car culture and a whole thing that they do over there. So this could be a really really big deal because you can dive into some Japanese culture and car culture like that. Cause what Horizons don't they like switch countries every game? Ain't that a thing?
Yeah, so every Horizon game has a centralized theme of this locale, and they
Mm-hmm.
kind of do well into the culture or the driving
Mm-hmm.
scene around it. So that was another thing I missed. Thank you for bringing that up. Japan is very, very huge with their car culture, with the drifting, the
Mm-hmm.
tuners, all that. They had said they had some people come in and help assist with that. They talked on it a little bit. I would like to see how they go about that with mixing the overall hot vehicles people want and the specifics to the locale. You know what I'm saying? It'll be nice to see how they pull it off. But like I said, it's not a Horizon game. I think
Yeah.
5 was. Shit, I can't even remember. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think 4 was England, Britain, somewhere in Europe. I can't remember what the other one was. But every year, every time they do one, it is a grand spectacle. That's how they approach it. You
Okay.
got
Yeah.
Microsoft money, which you should.
Yeah. Yeah. And hey, this is up for order today. And like my cousin said, May 19th is gonna be here in a blink of an eye. So if Forza games are for you, I'm sure you're salivating. You have a release date now. And from the looks of it, they giving a lot of cars at launch. So you got a lot of good shit to get through even at launch. You don't have to wait to be drip feed later. So good on them. Let us know in the comments below. Are you looking forward to this? Is this something you're picking up? And do you like these type of racing games and how they doing it with the open world kind of open-ish concept and all that? Because you can edit land and shit. I was kind of surprised by that. But anyway, let us know in the comments down below. All right. Next up was Beast of Reincarnation with a summer 2026, so no exact date. Developed by Game Freak, known for Pokemon, is a post-apocalyptic action RPG set in a corrupt Japan. The story centers on Emma, a young woman with special powers, and her loyal wolf-like companion Ko, as they fight to stop a force called the Bright that threatens humanity. The gameplay revealed a mix of exploration and tactical combat, where players battle corrupt creatures across ruined environments. Combat blends real-time action with elements like parry, sword combos, and special attacks called blooming arts. Players grow stronger by absorbing blight from defeated foes. Emma and Cole share a deep gameplay and narrative bond. Cole assists in combat and exploration. Both characters have skills trees, allowing players to expand abilities and customize playstyle as they progress. Game Freak's team structure was discussed. A relative small core internal team working with external partners to realize the game's ambitious visual. This is Game Freak's first major AAA title outside the Pokemon series, signaling the studio expanding into new territory with a mature, action-oriented experience. All right, so yeah, Infamous, how do you feel about Beasts of Reincarnation being the second game announced from this direct?
I need y'all to sit down. I got a lot to say on my plate.
Oh shit.
First off, is this the type of talent that Game Freak has been sitting on all these years? Are we serious? This is what they are working with and hiding all these years. And we have been getting these Play-Doh clay models at a Pokemon home. This is what y'all working on. Like, seriously. And then they had the nerve to keep bringing up, yeah, we work on Pokemon. We know who the fuck you are. We
You don't
know
have to tell
what
us.
Game Freak is. Okay, we know your pedigree. We know your resume. This is what you all are doing. Is Nintendo checks ain't cutting anymore? You want to dive out? When they showed this, I was like, might be a typo. We mean Game Freak. Not let alone something coming out of them on the Xbox and PlayStation. And until they showed this, I was like, yo, this looks good. At the same time, why? All
So
these years, no one knows nothing. Now, I'll give them the credit. They have made other projects. The Timber game, something with an elephant, and another little project they've done, but no one knows nothing of Game Freak besides Pokemon. And now, randomly, you all come out with this game that just looks gorgeous at the same time. I'll get to that in a
wait,
minute.
so are you frustrated because Game Freak could put out this caliber game and you're asking why haven't they been done it? Or
Yes.
they're Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Why have you all been sitting on such a gold mine and you all have just let yourselves chained to Nintendo and this? Now don't get me wrong, I like Pokemon and it is the world's biggest brand IP, all that. It's a moneymaker. I get that, but come on. Come on. I'll move past this and I'll get into how I feel. It's a great looking game. Thank God. They showed gameplay. That's one thing I have to admit. I didn't bring up for the Forza as well. They're showing gameplay. It is not just trailers, not just fluff to look nice to get you in the door like used car dealers do. They're actually showing you, hey, this is the product, and we're confident enough to show it off. I will admit, I was and kind of still am a little bit because it comes off looking kind of Souls-like, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's not.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure it's not because of the mechanics of it, but it comes off looking soulsy at a time where people are kind of getting a little fatigued by that. We all know, there's a group of people who like Souls action games. We all know there's been many companies really taking advantage of that, making every damn thing a Souls-like. It seems like they incorporate a little bit like of the Pokemon-esque into it. It's not turn-based. You can slow down and pick moves, spells, and whatnot. I was like, okay, this is a nice blend of what you all have done forever while you were incorporating it to do something else. So I'm like, okay, see where you're going. This futuristic dystopian Japan kind of been done before, Akira and other things, but a nice twist on it. I like it. Annoyed with the summer release date. Okay, that's it's vague, but
Vague.
it's not so vague as just saying, just 26. Okay, that's the whole damn year. All right, but they said summer, what the summer encompasses. June to the end of August. So awesome. And I am happy to see that. For any gamers or listeners who are a little too young, summer used to be a time where no one put video games out. That was a time set for the movie blockbusters, films, and indie projects. So to see people still trying to do something with that time frame, but then again, we live in different times. I'm going to say this is going to be a little controversial. So everyone,
Gosh.
I don't know if it's me,
Oh God.
but when I saw this game, it looked very, very familiar. And
Oh.
it looks like where the wind meets. And I was like, yo, is that a Asian thing? But I'm like, no, that was made by Chinese developers, if I remember correctly. Do you guys use the same template or something? But like I said, that was just my observation. But it is a nice, gorgeous looking game. I'm happy to see someone trying something different. It's not tied to a brand or an IP. Like I said, I am always welcome something new. Only time will tell how it'll perform. But hey, this was very nice. And once again, if this is what you're capable of, and this comes out swinging, it does great. Leave Pokemon behind. Give it to Nintendo and let them do what they want to do with it. You have too much gravitas, too much umph to hold you all selves back to this kitty cutout Pokemon series, unless you all are going to take it to the next level. But that's my take on Beast of Reincarnation.
Yeah, so they really wanted to make it known that they are the makers of Pokemon, and I'm just like, we get it. And it was very prevalent when I saw some of the bosses or monsters that you fight or whatever really encompass like a mature looking Pokemon. Like if you was to see a Pokemon in real life, that's what that shit would look like. And that's what I thought. I was like, damn, that look real Pokemon-ish, more mature and evil. Listen, the creativity, the look of the game looks well. Some of the scenes, the quality of visuals was dropping and then was coming back, so it was kind of mind fucking me. But that was another case and another announcement too. I don't know if they just used older in-game footage and pieced it together with new game footage. I don't know. I just felt it. Sometimes the wolf looked nice. Sometimes the wolf looked like I don't know,
Like
not
kind of
not. Yeah,
mesh. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I would say this is probably an older build. This is probably something they threw together so they can show for the showcase. And they're still working on this behind the scenes, which is probably why it has that vague ass summer release date. Because I promise you they'll probably work up to this and have this out maybe mid to lower end. We never know. But that's why they, instead of saying, hey, June, I'm like, Phil, Still,
Yeah, this looked good. I thought it was nice. I am intrigued. I am nowhere near saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get this day one." You know, Trees don't ever say that. I need to see some other reactions, some real life, real people play the game before I be like, "All right, I'll throw you a bone or something." But you can wish list this today in summer 2026. You know, that's what anywhere from May to August, July. So I mean that's not too far away. So you know I will follow it just to see how it looks until it's released, and then right when it released, I'll see the reactions and see if it's worth picking up. But no, let us know in the comments how you feel about Beast of Reincarnation. Like my cousin said, it is something new, so that's going for it. It does look an intriguing story for the most part, but here's my thing though with that Horizon Zero Dawn, I was playing because my cousin just yeah, and I was like, "This story is stupid." And
don't do that.
once I got that
Don't
in
do
my
that.
head, I couldn't play. I couldn't continue to play because I was just like, "This is dumb." I hope I don't feel that way with this one. It kind of, and I think I was watching other people review. They was like, "Yeah, it's got that Horizon Zero Dawn like feeling too," and I was like, "That's not good for me because I do not like Horizon Zero Dawn." So I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but you know, I'm always jaded, so you know, I gotta wait and see. But you know, I love having a dog or wolf like companion, so that's another thing going for it in my book. So we'll have to wait and see. But let us know if this is something you're looking forward to. Was you happy this was announced and they showed so much footage that they did? Let us know in the comments down below. All right, Kill is a new multiplayer party brawler developed by Double Fine Productions. Players create their own characters by shaping pottery using a realistic pottery wheel tool called the wedge, and those shapes directly influence movement, abilities, and combat styles in matches. It's a team-based multiplayer brawler with matches involving unique mechanics like carrying water to put out the opposing team skill in modes. Pottery shapes you create affect combat. Different shapes grant unique special attacks and tactical advantages. The game emphasizes both creativity and destruction in this gameplay loop. Between battles, players can hang out in a shared hub, Wedge, where they can practice, decorate, and customize their pottery characters with glaze and design. The social hub includes mini games and stores for customization items, enhancing the community feel. The artistic view and outlook of this game is playful and whimsical, using clay and pottery styles with extensive physical based animation. Keel blends artistic creation with a competitive multiplayer, a signature double fine blend of creativity and fun. So, Infamous, let us know how you feel about this announcement. And I guess this was the secret game that everybody was talking about.
This was the quote unquote secret fourth game, their surprise. And I'm just going to say this now and get it out. What a crock of shit. Now, now
Not a crock of shit.
you're gonna watch this video and be like, yo, he just got through praising something new, something different. Ain't this what you asked for, Infamous? What are you talking about? Yes, that is true. Honestly, right now, no.
Mm,
I don't know. A
mm.
multiplayer only focus-ish kind of title. That's not what people are screaming and wanting. If I remember correctly, there was another studio that Microsoft has that tried to do this the early years of them being acquired. It didn't work. It flopped. Like, you know, people tried it on Game Pass and they just moved on. This is not what people are kind of won from in the years of fatigue with the live service and the online. When I kept hearing of the rumors of this so-called secret fourth game, you know, a surprise that's coming, I'm thinking Gears of War, E-Day. I'm thinking like, oh, they're going back in their wheelhouse to bring back an old Xbox favorite. Hell, maybe an announcement like, hey, you know, all our money and all these games that Activision lost the licenses for, you know, we're gonna bring back some hit shit you guys been begging for. The Transformer games, something. They showed this shit. Now, I'm not trying to be, you know, that guy just shitting on creativity. It looks interesting. It's probably something I'll play with my kids, try out, have fun, whatnot. But when they showed it, I was just like, yo, this was it. This is it. You know, you guys, I'm thinking like, hey, it's an announcement. Yo, we gotta bring Gears of War 2 and 3, PlayStation, Horde mode. I said a preview, gameplay, something of Gears E Day. Hell, you all could have said Fusion Frenzy was coming back. That's enough of me harping, bitching, complaining. Because people call me a Debbie Downer, all that. They showed the game off. It's very colorful, high
Yeah,
stylish.
yeah.
Probably going for that very bright Fortnite-esque appeal. Even though people don't like hearing that being said, but I'm pretty sure they chose this design for a reason. And I mean, it is what it is. There'll be probably a small group of people who will play, love, enjoy this. Game Pass will probably eat up a bunch of numbers of player engagement, and they will report on that. They won't report on sales. And it catches my eye of it being more of a party-esque based game. Kids, young teens probably will grab it, play it, knock each other out, make weird little things of it, and then probably by the end of the year, you'll probably be forgotten about. Not to sound like a Debbie Downer, but it's just like these games are a dime a dozen. We have tons of these little kind of quirk experiences, and they're good for the heat of the moment, and then people move on because there's always something else trying to come out and do this and change subjects. But Fortnite has held its crown the way that it does because of the way they recycle. What is it they do? Their collaborations and mode changes, etc. That's why it has lasted so long, where everything else comes, it bursts out, and then it falters. But you know what I mean? It was interesting. It's nice. This is what Double Fine is known for. Their cute little tongue-in-cheek, quirky little games like Psychonauts, Stacked, and every other little thing they make. So, I can see this coming from them. Multiplayer focus, no. But hey, it is what it is. It's interesting.
Yeah, so this game is not for me, and I didn't even know about Double Fine Productions game making history, but they've made games like this in the past and a lot of people have liked them. I did try to dig up some of the old games they've made, and a lot of people do love the things that Double Fine Production makes. And even from this, like, I looked under the comment section of the showcase and people were loving it. So obviously they make games for somebody. They just don't make games for me and my cousin per se. So I'm not gonna say, because I have no idea. I mean, it just seems like, but Double Fine does have a player base, and they are very much looking forward to this game. So, hey, making pottery and all this quirkiness stuff, is that for you, boo boo? Do you? Shit, buy it up. It's on Game Pass. You don't even gotta buy it if you got Game Pass. So yeah, but now, is this game good enough to be all that kerfuffle they created? Talking about, oh, a secret game, a secret game, a secret game, a secret game. No.
No.
Absolutely not. Baby, we could have known about this 6 months ago, and it probably would have got the same reaction, okay? But now it's got a little negative tint to it because it was like, it's a secret game being announced. Hush, hush, hush. It's something big. Like, and then you announced this, and I was like, what? 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 I don't know. But listen, this game is for somebody. I'm not going to sit here and say it's probably not. I mean, it looks nice. It looks visually nice. So it stands out as a creative, physics driven multiplayer brawler where you craft pottery and your character is both an art and a weapon. It comes out spring 2026. Game Pass Day 1 support is shaping up to be one of the more unusual and exciting games from the Xbox brand. So if this is for you, hey, by all means, baby, do you, boo boo. Let us know in the comments though, is this something that you're looking forward to, or is this something that you will buy your kids? I can see kids really getting locked into something like this. Just watching my nephew play Roblox and Hollow Knights and everything else. This could be like a really big thing for kids though. Not saying adults can't play it. I'm never saying that. But let us know in the comments below how you feel about this and what you think. All right. All right. And the big haymaker, Fable, released in autumn of 2026. No real date, just a range of the year. So I'm going to tell you right now, that makes me nervous. You ain't locked in a date. And me and my cousin talked about this, and he said, oh, well, maybe the GTA release, that's in November. They're trying to maneuver around it, blah, 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 blah. This game has been in development for a long, even the motherfucker, the head guy was like, yeah, we've been working on Fable for a really, really long time. And that triggered me because, bruh, is anyway, okay, let me just get through the shit. For the first time at the developer direct, we saw extended gameplay footage and in-depth looks at world systems, combat, and mechanics from Fable's reboot. It emphasized a living open world full of reactive systems and dynamic encounters. The game brings brings players back to Albion, a richly detailed open world filled with both classic and new locations. Players can explore vast environments, engage with NPCs, and uncover secrets throughout the world. Instead of a simple good versus evil meter, Fable's morality system reacts based on how other characters witness your actions, affecting how NPCs perceive and interact with you. The world is populated by over 1,000 unique voice NPCs, routines, personalities, memories. They respond differently to players' choices and build reputations, influence the world around you. Beyond combat and quests, the game includes life sim elements like romancing NPCs, marrying NPCs, having children, owning property, and shaping your legacy in Albion, giving meaningful consequences to choices. Fable blends melee, range, and magic combat with deep character customization, allowing players to defend their hero appearance and fighting style. At the Xbox Developer Direct, Fable has showcased as a fully realized next-gen RPG in an evolving world, deep NPC interactions, rich life systems, and a fresh take on morality, setting it up as one of 2026's biggest release for Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. Infamous, how did you feel after watching the extended gameplay and all the fucking talking from the devs about Fable?
All right, I'm finna go in. This was the heavy hitter for this show. This is the only reason anyone was really watching this damn show, which is why they put it last. They know what the fuck they're doing. Because if it would have went first, the moment this would have been ended, everybody would have turned the TVs off. I am happy. Fable is finally back. It's here. I'm happy for the kids. I'm happy for the multiple wives. They said this was more of like a restart. So you guys be Bowerstone Market, Fairfax Castle. But little things, Infamous just really wanted to impress. The combat looked a little stiff. When they was showing that character fighting whatever that thing was. When they were showing example of the combat period, it looked really kind of, I don't want to say the word janky, but it looked stiff. But like I said, as I said with the Beast Reincarnation, they can still be working on this, which is why it has that vague release date. That was a little stiff. I see what they're trying to go with. Creating your character. I am happy about that because the other games, you just pick boy, girl, and then you you just had a person. I am happy about that because that means, I get to make my sexy female adventurer. Doesn't get to make her male. I was disappointed that they took out that morality thing with the more good or bad your character was, it reflected in your character kind of shifting. There, you had a very, very good character. You had a Halo. You had a very evil character doing a lot of shady shit. You had a bad looking character with the horns and all that. And they're like, they didn't want to do that. And I get that. A lot of modern games are kind of taking that aspect away, still being more in a gray area. They don't want to make it seem like you are losing out on something or making content and then locking it away from the character. A lot of studios are kind of doing this type of thing. My whole thing was, you could have put that in the game and made it a settings toggle on and off. I did like that they gave kudos to, like, hey, we're doing this from the glass guys used to make this. Okay, nice acknowledgement. You are not the first. You're not the progenitors of this franchise. That was great. There's a little disappointing things, and this is why I talked to my cousin about this. We did the show. We were watching this. I hope to God everything they showed gameplay wise was like an earlier build of like this in prototype stages. That mini map when they were showing the fighting, that mini map was blank when he was opening that open field. And I'm like, I hope as long as they have been working on this, that is not just some shit y'all slapped in there. The over-the-shoulder aspect of the game. To some, you all may think, Infamous God, nothing pleases you. You're always nitpicking. But I'm like, no. I pay attention. I hear the audience cry. Maybe not everybody, but I hear. And from my aspect, everyone has gotten on PlayStation about the over-the-shoulder game shit that they do. And it's like, this Fable kind of played it safe. And I get that. They want to get this appeal to as many people as possible because that's why they shut down Lionhead and close and just axed Fable, and then for whatever reason they was like, we need to bring that back. Thirdly, and this is a big one because they did not mention this at all, there's the co-op. What made Fable, at least to me and my cousin, was the co-op, the shenanigan things you can do running around in each other's world. That to me was fun and fun. Being in my cousin's world as she interacted with her many families, to go shopping together, and then at adventuring. That's what made the moments fun. And the only Fable that didn't have co-op was the original one. And they talked nothing of co-op. It was not brought up. Hell, no one even asked about it. I don't even think I even seen too many people in the comments bringing it up. But to me, that is a huge thing. Co-op. Can I bring, my adventurer into her world and, do whatever I want to do? I like the open aspects that they have as far as like you can hire people to work for you now. Oh, they're gonna step up, baby. Because in all Fable games, you was the one doing all the hard work. Now you can hire people, you make money, evict people, and see that guy you evicted. It seems like they're going more kind of life simish, but not calling it that. I like that aspect. I'm curious to see how in-game mechanics will work. A new game plus, if you will, because Fable was a game that you enjoyed, but once you finished it, you finished it. There was only so much you could do once you were done. That was my mostly negative gripes about it. That mini map and no co-op. Other than that, it's a nice looking game. It's very highly detailed. I'm gonna say this: everything that I enjoyed in life, it should be for as long as they have been working on this game. As long as they've been working on this, someone would have went to college and graduated, the bachelor's or whatever the hell comes after a bachelor. I can't remember. But no, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. This will be a day one play, and that also goes back to what I said about the Horizon. That's not day and date on PlayStation, but this is. They got me. Me and my cousin will be playing it. I do look forward to hearing more news of this. Transitioning between the weapons and magic was kind of little, but they say they're doing this a modern way. I'm just gonna look forward to see what else they show and say. But I was happy to finally see it. I mean, thank God, even though it has that vague ass autumn, they didn't touch on items, STDs, and orgy parties, which I still do on Fable 2 to this day, but hey, it can be a 1-to-1. Trees, how did you feel?
Yeah, you kind of said all the major ones, and I'm not gonna get on this platform and not be realistic. I am very jaded, so even while watching a lot of this stuff, I'm like, could this be smoke and mirrors? Especially when he said, "Oh yeah, the 1,000 NPCs handcrafted. You can watch them from when they wake up till they go to work, till they socialize after, and then they go home and go to bed. You can watch all the characters in the town." I was like, but can you though? Can you? Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good things, and while because they talk so much, I was just like, can you do less talking and more showing? He finally got to, the many of wives, all the kids you can have. Once he said that, I kind of exhaled like, okay. Then I kind of feel the same way about my cousin about how the gameplay looked, but I guess I'm not gonna complain about it because Fable combat was always very simplistic, simple. A lot of people I watch in the comments say this is a knockoff Witcher 3 combat system. Fable should never be that complicated. But
That seems
I
a little
did
high.
I did read a lot of the comments, and a lot of the comments are praising showcase of Fable. Maybe because we're just not getting answers. Everybody been holding their breath because they hold Fable in a very special place in their childhood. I read a comment saying that he was a child when he played the original Fable games. Now, when this Fable game comes out, he's having his first child. So there's so many people that are just happy that the game is finally coming. It has somewhat of a release date. Only and me and my cousin talked about this. The morality thing. I'm kind of not. I kind of wish they wouldn't. I wish they would have just stayed with how it was before. You evil, you start to look fucking evil, literally. And if you're good, you got the halo. I remember playing co-op. All I did was do good shit so I could get a halo in the first place. And when my cousin got into my game in my world, I saw his fucking horns and he was red. He was basically Satan. I was like, what the fuck is that? Because I had never seen a evil character before. And so I don't know. Like my cousin said, I felt like that could have been a feature you could turn off and on, I guess. But if that's the only thing that they fuck up or I disagree with their choices, then I'm gonna live with it. But I am gonna link the interview between IGN and the devs that he kind of breaks it down in detail because I did read that, so I'll link that down in the descriptions below. But I mean, overall, I am happy that Fable has somewhat a release date. The visuals was not consistent because sometimes it looked good, sometimes it looked a little so many people was on Twitter saying, finally, yes, we have a character creations. They was going in about the original design of the female. They was calling her he, she. They was like, we can't tell if she a boy or a girl, if he's a boy or a girl, and it was calling her ugly bugly. And I was just like, yo. And then so I felt like the developers were forced to make a character creation after all the backlash they did when they had that other little teaser and showing what they perceived to be the main character to be. They had no choice but to do a character creation after that because people were killing the game. And now everybody's a little settled, like, oh yeah, all right, I can make my own character, make them look somewhat of what I want, blah 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 blah. So I feel like, showing off what I've seen, it's good enough. It has me intrigued. It's a Fable game. You kick chickens. It seems like you gotta have some good humorous, and the game doesn't take itself too serious. Fable always had a game within the game. So the whole life simulation type elements, that's the game within the game. Landlord kicking people out and stuff like that. That is the game within the game. So I am happy about that. All in all, I'm still jaded and then I'm still pessimistic. So in my head, I'm like, all this shit can still be smoke and mirrors. I need to see the game for myself. I need to play it to actually feel like if they did it right or not, because they had more than enough time to get this right. And if they still don't get this right, it's gonna be some hell to pay. Yeah, let us know down below. How did you feel about everything announced? Do you agree with their choices about the morality system and there's no objective evil and good, and it's all about what people perceive you to be, and you don't have no reputation if they've never met you? That's the kind of lane they went down, I guess. But not I guess it's in the article. But let us know how you feel. Like I said, Fable has been getting nothing but a lot of praise, little speculation here and there. A few people saying, what you expect, you're so ungrateful comments. So but it's overly positive. Everything I've seen in the comment sections and online, a lot of creators are just happy that Fable is even back in the conversation because it has been gone for way too long and it should have never been shelved in the first place, because Fable always brought something unique to RPG. Like I said, the game within the game. So let us know how you feel. What do you think? Do you think this is really gonna keep its autumn release, whatever that is? Because Fable for the last 3 times has been delayed, and when they delay, it's usually into the next year. So if they don't meet this autumn time frame, we won't see it Fable until the next year. So that's another question. Do you really think this is gonna make its release date? But I bet if GTA gets delayed again, I bet it will come out this year though. We'll have to wait
So,
and see.
so I'll say this: Fable was shown. It has to come out this year. No choice but to put it out.
I disagree.
It has been way too long, way too many excuses going on, and the in-depthness, that's not a word, but I'm going with it. The
Yeah,
in-depthness they've
whoa.
showed of this game, it has to come out this year. Whether it's too close or just enough away from GTA, that was the monkey wrench Rockstar decided to give the industry. And they knew what they were doing. They knew that all big games come out around the fall. That's every year. That's where the heavy hitters come. And they're like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. We're going with our tried and true towards the end of the year. It has to come out. Their goal with buying up all these studios is that every year they have a major hit come out every quarter of the year, pretty much every season. And as this little dev thing shown, you had spring, you had summer, you had autumn. That's 3 seasons out of the year. With Forza being the only game that had a concrete release date of May 19th. Everything else is somewhere within its own season. It took all these years for them to finally get this little brainchild plan they had into fruition. Fable would need to come out. And not only just that, all these games, all of them, to hit Microsoft's 30% retention profitability numbers, all of that. This has all been a largely curated plan that they have worked on. And now the train is finally moving. If Fable pulls out and goes into 27, no one would care about it next year.
Oh no,
GTA would have been out, and that would be
no fucking way. No, no, I'm not.
hold on.
No, because you're not
I'm
gonna
not.
say nobody's no gonna care about Fable. Fable, no, that don't even make sense.
Okay, so let's change my wording. It won't
Yeah,
hit
change it.
as hard. It won't hit as hard. Everything of 26, the goal plan from every developer, platform holder, whatever the fuck you want to call them, is to get out in front of GTA.
But it can be
Period.
delayed to next year and still be far away from GTA. Who's saying that if GTA is delayed, even if it does keep its November, like they can maneuver far enough away from GTA, even with a delay. And another thing too, a whole nother reason why I think delay is still on the table because they didn't make a firm date. It's a window. It's not a date. So they're not beholden to any time in 2026. They're talking about a time frame. And Fable in the past, I think Xbox and Microsoft had told Playground Games like, hey, we're willing to delay if it means putting out a better product. So I don't think they're chained to 2026 because why? They've delayed this game multiple times. And for what? For making it more polished, a better experience, whatever the fucking shit they said. So if they feel like they can't uphold that standard in 2026, Playground's gonna tell Microsoft, hey, we're pushing it back. I think saying that a game has to come out at a certain time is why you get bullshit ass games that fail because they're broken. I bet if Cyberpunk wasn't beholden to that date that was already delayed several times, Cyberpunk 2077 could have been a better experience. And I've been a motherfucker saying, hey, I'd rather you delay it and fix it than release it and be a broken experience. So if these motherfuckers need to delay it again, I don't give a fuck. This Fable is just gonna come. Your life shouldn't be like altered around these release dates of these games. Like, don't ever believe a release date, even if it's the day before. You got to be skeptical because these motherfuckers are pulling the plug. Money is on the line. Profit margins is harder to hit nowadays more than ever. So if they have to delay for 6 months, no, motherfuckers have been following this game and it's been delayed how many times now and it's still relevant? Nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And I don't believe that. And I don't think Microsoft is going to argue with Playground Games. Obviously, they have a long relationship. And if Playground Games tells Microsoft, hey, bitch, the shit not ready. We saw the scenes where the game looked a little, I don't know, old, outdated. The graphics wasn't on par with some of the scenes. So, a lot of these games go into the 9th hour. Like the week before, they are still trying to polish out the kinks of the game. And in the 9th hour, they say, we ain't gonna hit it. Just like Rockstar and GTA. Hey, delay it. Fuck it. Like, you cannot put out a broken game these days and expect to survive. Not everybody can be a No Man's Sky, and nobody really want to put money into being a No Man's Sky after the fact. So more now than ever, it's imperative, it's indicative, it's in your best interest to not release a broken game. And I think that's what Microsoft has the mindset right now, especially with Bethesda doing dumb shit. They cannot release broken games and they know it. And if they got to delay Fable, so be it. Who gives a fuck at the end of the day? They still gonna buy it. If you worry about being too close to GTA, that's something for Microsoft and Playground Games to maneuver. Hey, you want to be so X amount time out, but even still, Rockstar, you never know. They delayed like hotcakes. So I don't know, but I don't think it has to come out this year because it's just motherfuckers been following it for like 8 years now. Like if you 8 years in deep at this point, you gonna continue to ride the train until it evaporates. That's my opinion, though.
All right, as I was saying, for financial sake and relevancy, it needs to stay on the course of 26.
But how can you say that after it's been delayed so many times and it's still relevant?
Well, I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to get at. So,
we'll get to the point.
Well, you stopped me.
No, because you've been talking for like 20 minutes. Like you're saying all this stuff.
I'm trying to get it out. As far as I know,
this motherfucker
Fable has
slow
only
burn.
been delayed.
Oh, fuck no. Fable has been delayed 3 times.
You want me to answer your question or you gonna let me go?
Well, keep saying wrong shit.
Fable, as far as I know, has been delayed from last year to this year. Other than other times when they've showed or talked about it, it was hearsay and speculation. And the reason why I'm saying it should come out this year, Xbox's language has been and what they've talked from last year. The shit that gets shown in these developer showcases is things they have coming out for the year. You are generating all this hype. Don't take it away. No, I give you. You are right. No one wants another CD Projekt. Not CD Projekt. Cyberpunk And not every studio can afford to be a No Man's Sky redemption. And quite frankly, the whole ship it and fix it approach is getting dead in water.
It's
People are
very
real
much
tired of it.
dead.
You all, and when I say you all, platform holders, these corporations, you all have raised the bar in the worst time economically to raise the bar. And then you have, keep this quick, Nintendo trying to raise it even more with $80 games, $70 games. You're pushing consumers to the point where, all right, fuck this. If it don't hit out the door, oh well. But you are 100% right. With these shareholders and their price dates, etc., yeah, it could go ahead and move along with that. My fault. I'm saying if it doesn't come out, people disinterest will start to grow on it because it came to a point they announced this game, it showed that quick little teaser, and then we got nothing. And then every year, even me and you over the past couple years was like, yo, where's that Fable game at? Heard nothing. And they kept piecemealing it bit by bit. All right, where is it? And it was supposed to show up last year. They did nothing. And they're like, oh yeah, well, we got moved to next year. And now here we are. And they finally showed it up. So I'm just saying, I do hope it does come out. I do have high hopes for it because Microsoft has been gutting studios across the board. Turn 10, the opposite side of Playground that made those motorsport games, they have gutted the shit out of them. Once they put out that motorsport game and it didn't perform well. Playground Games does have some good repertoire with them. And like, hey, you gave us this shit to make something completely out of our wheelhouse. You need to let us cook. And then my last thing, and you reminded me of it, that 1,000 NPC shit, way over ambition. That smells like Bethesda got involved somewhere around here. That
Somebody
1,000 NPC shit.
commented
Go
that
ahead.
that's a nemesis. That it was like a nemesis design. I was like,
Speaking,
what is he? Yeah, I was like, what is he talking about?
so Nemesis thing was from the WB Studios with the
Yeah, I
Shadow of
remember
Mordor game.
they kind of killed it because they try to
Yeah.
yeah
The reason I'm saying that 1,000 NPC shit smells like Bethesda is Bethesda had that bullshit with 1,000 planets and they'll all be unique and you have something and somewhere to go to.
yeah.
That was never the point of Fable. It was never the point. And that type of ambition, you pour in too much resources in that, and it takes away from everything else. These are just our opinions. I could be wrong.
Concerns.
Just be
These
wrong.
are our
But this,
concerns.
yeah, concerns, highly concerned, because no one's buying or trying out if you have Game Pass Fable because each NPC has their own life. That don't mean shit. That fucking NPC could wake up, walk his ass to the store, go back home, sit there, and then go to sleep.
And why would I want to follow NPC throughout their day?
Yeah. That was my thing. I was
Like,
like, yeah, you want to see fun?
right.
Why? Why would I want to
Yeah.
do that? You
Yeah, I
folks
don't
do the
know.
wrong
Maybe
thing,
that's a
but
TikTok thing.
my biggest gripe with the show period was that they talked too much. They
Yeah.
constantly kept talking. They talked
Yeah.
so much. Some of the shit I was speeding through. Come on, get to the gameplay. Get to the game. This is what we're here for.
Yeah, and I guess we're kind of done with this Fable topic. Let us know how you feel and what you think and what you hope for, and if this will keep its autumn 2026 release date. I kind of want to do a talk about the show and about other games that wasn't announced. And I'll start off with saying yes, my cousin is correct. I don't know who are in charge for the framing and all the dialogue and all the people, but some of it, I just be like, none of these mofos was needed. Okay, none of these mofos was needed. They could have just had a person say some shit about the game and then have the fucking gameplay and all that play out, and we didn't have to cut back and forth between people. And that was one of the things about the showcase. Another thing, it was only 4 games, and really we already knew about Forza from the Japanese showcase, and I'm so 3 games. Bro, you could have just had a Fable and Reincarnation game at the game show awards and not did this. And it probably I don't know, I felt like it probably would have got more views, but Xbox being Xbox, they feel like they're special. I get it, whatever. I just want to say this though. We didn't hear anything about Gears of War's E-Day, and bitch, I'm scared. I'm very concerned. Why wasn't Gears of War part of this development showcase? And people can probably be like, well, because it's not coming out this year. Okay, but still, a lot of people speculated so much for the showcase. People was out here talking about Elder Scrolls is going to be announced as the one more thing. Nothing.
Lies and
And
slander. Lying
and
to themselves. I don't know why they did that.
and for one more thing, I don't think it was crazy to think that Gears of War would be a one more thing. Like, and so where is that game at? And there was a lot of other games that I saw in the comment section of the showcase that a lot of people were asking about, and it was a lot of Elder Scrolls. People are holding on to. Hey, that's an example right there that mofos don't lose interest surfaced over years because motherfuckers is still asking about that Elder Scrolls. So I kind of do want to talk about that aspects of the show. What are some games that you thought should have been a part of the show, even if they didn't, if the games are not supposed to come out this year? Because having a showcase for 4 games, that's probably why we got so much unnecessary talking for devs and because they needed to fill the time for an hour show. What do you think about that?
This could have been done better. I think this was more of a attention grabber and kind of maybe I'll say this. It feels like they were trying to set the pace for the year, try to get the best foot forward. But in doing so, it was just, I don't know, lackluster. The one from last year, I could be wrong. I remember it being like 6 games.
Yeah, it
I could
was. It
be
was
wrong.
more games.
Yeah.
It was more games.
Yeah. And even if E-Day is not to arrive this year, where is just something of it? Where's Gears E-Day? Where's State of Decay 3? Where's so much of the shit Xbox has been cooking on? So you have Fable, State of Decay 3. It's another game that they have like been, Elder Scrolls 6, and I can't think of another one that they have been cooking for a long time. Long time. Now, it's recently that Bethesda came out and admitted, yeah, they shouldn't have said it and then showed it off and announced it when they did. And they did it as a cheap shot just so that motherfuckers won't say nothing to them about it. But we're going on 8 years. 8 years of waiting for Elder Scrolls 6. We're going on maybe 6 years of some change for Fable. Even if it's not coming out, hey, say something. Let your fans know, hey, we ain't forgot about you and or these games. I remember hearing a rumor that Gears of War Reloaded was a test to see how relevant Gears would be on the PlayStation market and just Xbox as a whole as they were preparing Gears E-Day. And I was like, well, that's dumb. We all know Xbox fans love it and get it. But, you know, the PlayStation people, yeah, they'll play the story. I don't know about the multiplayer. My whole thing was Gears is a household name. If you, if you build it, they will come. You put it out, they will buy it. I don't know
like
anyone who turns down a
lesser tier Halo. You know, it's just a lesser tier Halo.
And then it's a co-op bro dude shooter. From an era that's bygone now. Where's that at? You all have cast aside the thought of a Gears 6 because of the way Gears 5 ended, which was stupid. And you all have like, all right, we're gonna double back. We're gonna go which they should have done a long time ago. And from the trailer, it looked like they were going back to their roots of dark shooting combat, gore and everything. I mean, he blew his head off. All right, awesome. Where is any type of news, an update? State of Decay 3 was announced in 2020, 2 years after 2 came out, and I believe that only had just 2 trailers, and we've got nothing from it. Xbox needs to do a little bit more with their scheduling and how they're showing off this stuff. You have Summer Games Fest, Gamescom for the summer. In the fall, you have Tokyo Game Show, and at the end of the year, you have the Game Award. Microsoft could have set this up, hey, just as those other players hit other key pieces of the year, we start the year off here at Xbox by showing you what we're working on, and here's what we got. Hitter at the hitter at the hitter. Even if it's the small stuff like the kiln, like you said, there's an audience for it. People love what Double Fine does. 4 games for an hour, 45 of those minutes were people talking of that hour for each damn game. To me, as a consumer, it's not cutting it. Hell, one of the games we already knew of. We already knew of Forza Horizon 6, the Game Awards, like you said. So you were just showing off gameplay, but yet again, if you've never played a Horizon game, that would be appealing to you, get you off guard. If you have, you're looking at it and be like, yo, as far as I know, that could be Forza Horizon 5 you showing me. The UI look completely the fucking same. All thing you gotta do is just make sure it's a track they ain't never seen before. Microsoft Xbox means to really show out their competitors, even though they don't look at them like that, and they're going the whole third-party publisher. They can really show out louder than PlayStation, especially Nintendo. It's like they just, oh, well, here you go. This could have been huge. Could have showed off the 3 games. That kiln, hey man, that kiln could have been the last thing at the Game Awards, to be honest with you, rather than High Guard. And then when they did this, they were like, hey, we got an extra segment for you guys. These games may not necessarily come out this year, but but we want to give you a developer update on them. This is what we're working with here. Showing off a few things, few 5 minutes, and move on to the next one. That would have set the tone for the whole year. When summer comes around and people reminisce about E3 and Summer Games Fest starts up, they'll be like, oh man, I wonder if there'll be another update on so-and-so. That's like 6 months. And then you keep that momentum rolling, but it's like sometimes they're like, hey, well, just hand them this. This reads with those reports how, I don't think we reported on it. Actually, we didn't. But I remember reading, they were saying there was no Xbox rewind or wrap up of 25 because it wasn't in the budget. And I remember reading it like, wait, what?
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 That don't even make sense.
What fuck? From the $4 trillion corporation? And it just goes to show you that they're really nickel and diming everything to make sure they get, the profit margins and the numbers hit. But you are setting the tone for your brand for the year. You can at least come out of your pocketbook a little bit more than that. I'll give what we have were shown. I'll give them credit. Hey, at least there was gameplay footage of some kind for each individual thing, and not just straight trailers. I give them that, because the Fable shit, if that would have been that trailer shit again, like the last time they showed it off, just CGI work and the dude talking to a camera like a weird kind of the Office fucking thing, I've been like, man, fuck this. They didn't. So how they could do better, like I said, they could have shown a little more updates. For Christ's sake, hell, they could have gave an update on Grounded 2. That's still in game preview, showing like, hey, what we got plans for this. I know people that game hasn't on this because my son and his friends spent hours playing that game, making their bases, ransacking those insects and having fun. That is Microsoft's little, I won't say it's their answer to, I won't go there, but oh shit, well, I was gonna say Minecraft, but they also own Minecraft, but that's their own little in-house ecosystem that they feed and cater to that younger demographic. And then even the olders who love that and play that, because I played that with him a few times. You running around expiring insects, building bases, weapons, one after more. They could have gave an update on that, like, hey, we're moving to another phase of the game preview, and we're gonna add this soon, and have so going on. There's so much they could have addressed that could have quelled the concerns of the lovers of their brand, and we just got this for it, which, like I said before, each one is tackling a quarter of the year. But come on, Xbox. I mean, we all know how things have shifted at that company, their outlook on everything, but they're still a corporation. You all love money. You spend it to make it. That's all I got, though.
Yeah. So I just think the showcase should have been more than 4 games. Like, yeah, where the fuck was Gears of War? What was State of Decay? Hell, I'll even let the Elder Scroll people get one. Like, hey, can we get a teaser now for Elder Scroll? So it's so many other games that people were looking forward to, and we kind of just got a showcase of 4 games, and 2 of them we really already knew about. We just more answers to our questions for. I felt like the showcase was kind of empty. Kind of like, why did I spend an hour listening to these people talk? Like, this could have been somebody commented under the showcase and said this could have been put out in the email, and I felt that. Like, yes, like this did not really deserve to be a whole thing by itself. Like, it just felt empty, and who knows? Maybe they did have more stuff, but they scrapped it at the last minute for XYZ. Anything is possible, but I just felt like this was kind of empty. The only thing that most people really cared about was Fable, and that's the furthest game out of everything they announced. And I just think they could have said and talked about more, even if it wasn't a full trailer. You could have just been like, hey, we're still here, guys. State of the Gate 2, 3, Gears of War E-Day, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But let me know down in the comments down below. Was there some games you thought they should have announced, or at least touched on or talk about and brung up and reminded people, hey, we're still here? Let us know down in the comments down below. But that's a wrap for recapping the 2026 Xbox Developer Direct. Jesus, that's a mouthful. Like I said, let us know on any of the topics we talked about, how you feel, what you think. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Let us know down in the comments down below. But wrap.
And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, Are You Not Entertained?